Something happened on a dyno that left even experienced motorcycle enthusiasts staring at the screen in disbelief. A machine that sounds like it shouldn't even exist was screaming its way through the rev range, filling the room with a sound unlike almost anything else onto wheels. 5 cylinders, around 1,250 cc, based on one of Kawasaki's most legendary two-stroke engines. And somehow, it wasn't built by Kawasaki at all. It was built by one man. That man is Allen Millayrd. Most people think creating a completely new motorcycle engine requires a massive factory, millions of dollars, and a team of engineers. Allen Millayrd looked at that idea and quietly proved otherwise from his own workshop. The incredible part is that this wasn't just a display piece meant to sit under bright lights at a motorcycle show. It actually runs, it rides, and yes, it has been put on a dyno to reveal what this engineering masterpiece is really capable of. Before we dive into how he managed to pull off something many engineers would call impossible, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button like you're dropping the clutch on a Kawasaki H2 at full throttle. If you're fascinated by rare motorcycles, unbelievable engineering, and machines that rewrite the rules, you're going to love what's coming next. Because once you learn how this motorcycle was actually built, you'll realize the dyno numbers are only half the story. To understand why this motorcycle is so special, we need to go back several decades. The original Kawasaki H2 750 earned a reputation that has survived generations. Introduced in the early 1970s, it was powered by a ferocious 748cc two-stroke, 3-cylinder engine. Back then, it became famous for one simple reason: it was ridiculously fast. People loved it, people feared it, and sometimes they did both at exactly the same time. The H2 wasn't known for being polite. Twist the throttle too aggressively and it reminded you very quickly who was really in charge. Riders often joked that the engine wanted to reach the finish line before the rest of the motorcycle. That wild personality is exactly why the H2 became a legend. But Allen Millayrd wasn't interested in restoring history. He wanted to ask a question almost nobody else dared to ask. What if Kawasaki had built an even bigger version? Not a 4-cylinder, not a modern superbike, a 5-cylinder two-stroke monster. Now think about how difficult that sounds. Adding 2 extra cylinders isn't like snapping extra Lego bricks onto a toy. Every single component changes. The crankshaft has to be completely redesigned. The crankcases have to be modified, the ignition timing changes. Cooling changes, fuel delivery changes, exhaust tuning changes. Even balancing the engine becomes dramatically more complicated. At that point, you're not modifying an engine anymore, you're creating one. That's exactly what Millayrd set out to do. And somehow, instead of ending up with an expensive pile of metal that refused to start, he created one of the most extraordinary custom motorcycles ever built. But the most unbelievable part isn't that he built it, it's how he built it. And once you hear where much of this work actually happened, the project becomes even harder to believe. Here's where the story becomes almost unbelievable. Allen Millayrd isn't backed by a giant motorcycle manufacturer. He isn't leading a massive research department. He isn't surrounded by hundreds of engineers running computer simulations every day. Instead, he's built a worldwide reputation by doing something very few people can do. He looks at mechanical problems differently. Where most people see impossible obstacles, Millayrd sees engineering puzzles waiting to be solved. His workshop has become legendary among motorcycle enthusiasts because it's where outrageous ideas somehow become fully functioning motorcycles. And here's the funny part. While many of us struggle to assemble flat-pack furniture without ending up with 3 mysterious leftover screws, Millayrd is casually redesigning entire motorcycle engines. That's a completely different level of confidence. For this incredible 5-cylinder project, he essentially had to rethink everything. The crankshaft had to support 5 pistons operating in perfect synchronization. The crankcases required extensive machining and fabrication. The intake system had to feed 5 hungry cylinders evenly. Then came the exhaust. If you've ever listened to a high-performance two-stroke, you know the exhaust system isn't just there to reduce noise. It's an essential part of how the engine produces power. Designing expansion chambers for 3 cylinders is already challenging. Now imagine doing it for 5. Every pipe length matters. Every bend matters. Pressure waves inside those pipes determine how efficiently fresh fuel mixture enters the cylinders. It's engineering that borders on science fiction. Then there's cooling. More cylinders mean more combustion. More combustion means more heat. Managing temperatures across all 5 cylinders without creating reliability problems becomes another enormous challenge. And yet, when the motorcycle finally fired into life, it didn't sound like an experiment. It sounded like something Kawasaki themselves might have built if engineers had been given unlimited freedom and absolutely no accountants. But building the motorcycle was only the beginning, because every custom creation eventually reaches the same moment of truth, the dyno. And what happened when this one-of-a-kind machine met the rollers is where the story takes another fascinating turn.